Hey, Money Magnets, I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, and if you're a coach, entrepreneur, or service-based business owner, you're in the right place to learn practical, actionable law of attraction strategies that will help you grow yourself to grow your business. And one of the ways that we would all love for our businesses to grow is to be magnetic to money. So today, the topic is break through the top 3 money blocks to attract money in your business. For those of you who have been with me for a long time, you know that I'm really into money mindset, breaking through money blocks and becoming magnetic to money because I started my entrepreneurial journey on food stamps. And I really know what it's like to struggle financially. I have spent years now learning about unconscious money beliefs, understanding how to break through them, working with other people to help them break through their money blocks. And when I started my business, I actually started it by having a wealth building mastermind. And I had gone to this workshop and there were a few people who were at the workshop and we were talking about money. And I said, I'd love to have a wealth building mastermind. And they were like, yeah, I'm on board. So I fell into being the leader of this group. And one of the things that I had everybody do was write a money story. And we had such a transformational experience that I decided when I brought clients in to have everybody write their money story. And we would break it down and look at their unconscious money beliefs and start to break through those so that they could grow as humans, as partners, as business owners, as parents. And I was really blown away by how powerful this process was. And in doing this with hundreds of clients across the world, different business types, different income levels, I started to really see some very specific patterns. And as a research sociologist in my history, my background, my PhD is in sociology and I'm a behavioral scientist. My BA is in psychology. And then I spent a ton of years understanding human behavior and working in the Institute of Behavioral Science. And so I learned to look for patterns becoming a researcher. And so when I was doing these money stories with my clients and hearing the patterns and hearing them be the same, no matter what type of person it was, I thought, whoa, this is really wild. There are common money blocks that all people have. And it really falls into the 3 categories that I want to talk about today. These 3 are money is bad, money is scarce, and money causes stress. And I'm going to break down each of these blocks and then give you some action steps to break through. So as you're listening, pay attention to the blocks that sound like, oh, that's me. And just a little bit of background information here. You might be struggling with all 3 of the money blocks. It might be 1 or 2. It might be 1 in some area, but then a different one in different areas of money. So listen to all of them and just pay attention to if these align or resonate for you so that you can apply my inner power formula to recognize, reframe, and then repeat those reframes to reprogram yourself for different money outcomes. So through these last 6 years of business, that's really what I've been playing with the most is money mindset breakthroughs. And this ties really well to entrepreneurship because if you're not making money in your business, it feels horrible. Or if you're not making the amount of money that you want to make, it feels bad. If you have these huge visions to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire entrepreneur and you're not even able to break through to 6 figures, it feels really frustrating. Maybe you're able to break through to 6 figures, but then you plateau. Or maybe you're on your way to 7, but you're burning yourself out. That's all related to money blocks. And so it's been this really informative process to get to work with people and understand how our brains work, how our energy works, and then applying law of attraction strategies to really understand how money blocks get formed and how they create resistance that block your money flow. So let's break that down first before we get into the 3 unique money blocks. First, I want you to know that it's time to stop beating yourself up, guilting yourself, shaming yourself, feeling bad, negatively comparing yourself to other people in terms of money. You are on your own journey and it's okay no matter where you're at. So let's start there. One of the biggest problems people have with their relationship to money is guilt and shame. I really think that's the core foundational problem of anything that we are stuck feeling. It really has to do with guilt and shame. We're beating ourselves up inside. We compare ourselves negatively to other people. We think we should be farther along than we are. And all this does is causes resistance. And because I've told you many times here that resistance is the number one thing that causes you not to manifest what you want. And so if you are having negative, toxic feelings about yourself in relationship to money, you are making everything harder. You're blocking your money flow. And to turn on your money magnetism, you got to start breaking through that guilt and shame. Know that you were programmed to be the way that you are, starting when you were a kid. And this is never to beat your parents up or the adults in your life. It's you recognizing that you are programmed a certain way and that you have the power to reprogram yourself. Making money and building your wealth is simply a skill. Anyone can learn it. You can, from today forward, completely change your financial future. It's up to you to decide and commit and take inspired strategic action to turn on your money magnetism. Anyone can do it. I know because I went from food stamps to 6 figures in my business in its first year. I built up a savings. I learned how to invest, and everything started to change for me because I changed from the inside, and then my outer world changed. So, I've said this many times that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you don't like what's going on the outside, money in the bank, then change what's within. Your money mindset, your energy, and your belief system about money. And so everything that I teach you on this podcast is about that, helping you reprogram your state of being, which includes your beliefs and your energy system, your thoughts and your feelings around money. So if you were programmed as a child with negative beliefs about money, or maybe your family didn't talk about it at all, maybe there was a lot of stress, maybe there was a lot of money, but a lot of stress. There are so many variations of the way that this can get programmed. Let it go now. It's okay. You don't need to be stuck anymore in yesterday. That's a thing of the past. You can't change the past. You're not a miracle worker in that way. If you are, let me know and we can put together a multi-billion-dollar business. I don't think you can. You can't change the past. All you can do is reframe your feelings about the past, your perceptions of the past, and you can start from today forward deciding that you're going to reframe the way you feel and think and believe about money so you can get different results in the future. So that's the first thing. Let go of guilt and shame. Don't beat your parents up. Instead, we're going to look at your history as a child and how you were programmed and consider what was programmed in your belief and energetic system. And then you can decide to reframe it and let go of beating anyone else up, because when you do that, you lose all of your power to change. So let's decide right now, just declare to yourself, I let go of past regrets. I stop beating other people up about my financial situation, and I choose to be empowered from today forward. I choose to be a financial powerhouse from today forward. I am ready to learn skills to become financially free. I am willing and committed to do what it takes to be a money magnet. I'm ready to turn on my money magnetism because I'm a money magnet and everything I touch turns to gold. Oh yeah. That's your choice from today forward. So the way it gets programmed, when we're young, we are watching the people in our lives. We are listening to what they say. We're being told certain things. We're experiencing people's energy. And money transactions happen all the time. If you think about how many times you've already thought about money today, just stop right now and think, how many thoughts have I had about money today already? If you went to the coffee shop, did you think about how much you spent? Did you pay any bills today? Did you have income come in and how did you feel about it? Did you talk to your partner about money? Are you thinking about income in your business? So many things are wrapped up in money and we think about it all the time. So think back to when you were a child, what was going on in your surroundings with money? You were absorbing all of this every single day. And when we're young, we're like little sponges. We don't have a filtering system to reject or accept certain things. We just absorb it all like sponges. And we start to repetitively hear and see things because you're living with people who are habitual beings, just like we still are today. And so you tend to start to develop habits and belief systems that get programmed into your state of being, your energy system. And whatever those things were, you believe, so you recreate in your reality through the law of attraction. So how this works is that thoughts that you keep thinking over and over, feelings that you keep having over and over, turn into solidified states of being. So if you keep repeating a thought, it turns into a belief. If you keep feeling a feeling, it turns into your vibrational frequency. And so let's say that you had parents who worked a lot and were somewhat stressed about money. Somewhere in yourself, you internalized that they didn't want to spend enough time with you because they were pursuing money. You didn't have this conscious thought, but you felt that way. So you play that out and you keep believing that. And then in your adult life, you start to think money causes stress or money is scarce. If I have to work hard for money, I'm going to neglect my family. And I felt neglected as a kid, so I better not make a lot of money because I'll be a neglectful parent. So you see how that starts to play out when we have these beliefs. And it's not necessarily that your parents intended for you to feel that way. It's just that they were doing the best they knew how to do at the time, and they were programmed themselves with their parents' belief systems or the adults in their life. And then they carried that through and created that for you. And now you're storing up 5-year-old fears and doubts and anger and resentment and frustration and guilt and shame about money that your parents programmed into you unconsciously. So now it's time to get conscious and recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. That's critical. So that's what you're going to do with these beliefs and these feelings. Let them release from your energy system, transform your state of being so that you can up-level your vibe and start to attract different, easier opportunities. So instead of money being bad, money can be an awesome source of everything that you get to create, and it can help you create impact in the world. Instead of money being scarce, it can be abundant and flowing, and you can be prosperous. Instead of money causing stress, money can be the foundation and platform for you to live your life and fulfill your vision and serve the world powerfully. Those things are all possible, but not if you keep running the same old stories you've been running about money. If you don't break through your old money belief systems, you're going to continuously create resistance, which is going to push money away, which is going to cause you to sabotage. It's going to cause you to hit that glass ceiling of income plateaus. It's going to cause you to make a whole bunch of money and then sabotage because you're scared and you've got to get back to that money set point that keeps you safe. And we want to break through those top 3 money blocks so that you can attract money in your life and business. That is the goal here, right? And feel really good about it. I want you to use my favorite offer mantra. This is my book. This is the one I've used for years every time I get money. I am a money magnet. Everything I touch turns to gold. I'm a money magnet. Say it to yourself right now. I'm a money magnet. Everything I touch turns to gold. If you don't quite feel that way yet, say, I'm ready to be a money magnet, or it would feel good to be a money magnet. I'm willing to be a money magnet. Ooh, let's open up to being a money magnet. I'm ready to be a money magnet, and I am ready for everything I touch to turn to gold. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you're liking today's show, 2 things for you. Check out I'mAMoneyMagnetBook.com. I am a moneymagnetbook.com. This book gives you over 100 journaling questions to help you break through unconscious money blocks and helps you understand how to program yourself to be a money magnet. And then also my LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school. Every week, I give you money magnet topics, and a huge part of what we do in life coaching is helping people break through unconscious money blocks. So you get tons of lessons and also weekly coaching. This is going to help you become a money magnet. So LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school, free trial. You can test everything out, and then you're going to want to stay because I promise you, when you are consistently there, you will be shocked what you can create through reprogramming your state of being and becoming a different vibrational frequency that is one that attracts money magnetism or turns on your money magnetism so you can attract what you want. And that's what the whole basis and foundation of the Law of Attraction for Business.school is. So check it out. Okay. So now that you understand that money blocks come from programming that's habitual when you were a kid, these things happen from listening and watching and hearing people say things, even movies. Man, when I watch the movies or just any TV, it is so wild to see how many money beliefs are being recreated or programmed into us. If you think about when we watch movies, I want you to pay attention to a movie that you watch and how often money or rich people are pitted as the evil, greedy, bad people. It is so common. And so what this does is causes us to subconsciously think that money is bad. We think, oh, if I get too much money, I'm going to become a greedy, evil jerk. Oh, if I get too much money, I'm going to be that rich bitch like they always show in movies with powerful women. If you are a guy, then when you're watching these movies, you're thinking, oh, the guys who pursue a lot of money tend to be assholes, like they're jerks. And we keep seeing this over and over. I think about when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies was Overboard. And remember, she was just like this rich jerk. And then she had to humble herself by getting amnesia she fell overboard and got amnesia. And then the poor guy who was the carpenter brought her into his home and she became a mom of his kids and became really humble and kind after she experienced poverty. That sends a really bad message about wealth being associated with people being jerks. Again, there's another experience where we see that, and in our little kid brains, that influences us. And it starts to get set in your system where you think like, oh no, if I want money, I might become a bad person. Or, I'm chasing money, and is that wrong? And there's just so many ways that we really pit money as a bad thing. So this is a great segue into the 3 money blocks. So money is bad, money is scarce, and money causes stress. Let's first talk about money is bad. So like I said, when you have this money block, it's going to keep you from becoming a successful entrepreneur and making a lot of money, because unconsciously you'll continue to repel money away from you because it's impossible to attract what you fear or judge harshly or hate. So if you've got a subconscious belief that money is bad, every time you get a lot of money or you start to become more successful, what you'll notice is sabotage problems, because somewhere inside of your subconscious system, you're thinking money is the root of all evil, or it's not spiritual to be rich, or too much money causes corruption. Rich people are greedy jerks. If I become too rich, I'm scared I'll become greedy and selfish, or other people will think I'm greedy and selfish. Oh no, what if I become really wealthy and it makes other people judge me harshly? You might be thinking, well, it's better to give than to receive. So you overgive and you keep yourself in a more impoverished state, or even in a state where you're giving too much. Maybe you have a lot of money and you're giving too much out of guilt because you have wealth shame. You might think someone else will suffer if I have too much money, or other people need it more than me. I've already got enough. Or why should I need more? I don't need more. I've got enough. Be grateful for what I have. I'm focused on helping people, not making money. These are the things I hear from people who have this money is bad money block. And it's very common. So you're not alone. You could be thinking, I better hide how much money I have so other people don't judge me. This is a topic of wealth shame. So I've met really wealthy people who hide how much money they have, or they overspend and overgive because they have guilt around how much money they have. Often this happens when people feel conflict about how they earned that money. Maybe they had a trust fund, or their partner is really wealthy, and so they don't feel like they earned it, and so they start to feel like that shame around it. So when you have the money is bad money block, it creates a lot of fear, a lot of guilt, and a lot of shame about money. And if you don't have a lot of money, you feel secretly embarrassed. So you justify your lack of money by focusing on how money is bad. You demonize money and you say things like, I don't really care about money. I care more about helping people, or it's better to be happy than rich, or I care more about my family than making money, things like that. And so you'll hear yourself justifying your limited financial means. If you have a lot of money and you have this block, you might feel wealth shame, like I said. So you minimize the amount of money you have. And no matter how much money you have, the money is bad money block will cause you to feel bad about money, and you will unconsciously sabotage yourself from having the amount you want. So you can never break through that glass ceiling and be abundant and prosperous and flowing. Obviously, this is going to affect your business negatively if you have this block, because you're not going to be able to take it to the level that you truly desire, and you'll never be able to make the impact that you truly want to make because it requires money to make bigger impact. So if you have this block operating in your system, I want you to try this exercise. So first, think about this. You're saying that you say to yourself, rich people are blank. Okay, whatever you write down when you write rich people are blank tells you a lot about what you believe. And I want to remind you of my favorite quote here by Carl Jung. He says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So your first step is to get conscious. So you're going to start by creating a bullet point list of the thoughts and feelings that come to mind when you think of rich people. And just consider things that you say to yourself or out loud when you interact with someone who appears to have more money than you or someone that you judge as being mega rich. And I'm going to give you a funny example here. Think of, let's say, the Kardashians and someone who passes you on the highway in a Rolls Royce, or a friend or family member who has just remodeled their kitchen after they just returned from a month in Hawaii. What do you think about them? So here are some examples that might pop in for you. And I've used these because people have said these direct things to me in sessions and I've said them to myself. I think people like the Kardashians are so ridiculous. They waste a ton of money and seem really greedy and materialistic. Or, that jerk cut me off on the highway the other day, and of course, he was in a Rolls Royce, so freaking entitled. Why is it always the people in fancy cars who think they own the world? And then on that last one, my sister just remodeled her entire kitchen, and it didn't even need it. She doesn't work, and she has so much money, and all she does is sit around all day thinking about more ways to spend money. Couldn't she use the money for charity or something? Plus, why does she get a vacation? I'm the entrepreneur. I'm the one who needs a vacation. So you hear in all of this, the things that we say to ourselves about wealthy people says a lot about what we're resisting and blocking becoming. So if you want to be rich, you've got to bless those who are rich, not demonize those who are rich. If you want to be rich and you're simultaneously having the thoughts that people who are rich are bad, you're never going to be able to become rich. So how can you reframe these thoughts and play with new ways of thinking so that you can start to reprogram yourself for an up-leveled state of being and believe, money is good. Money is good. So let's play with some reframes with those examples. So reframe. In truth, I don't know anything about the Kardashians other than what I see on TV. How much money have they generated and given away? Maybe a lot. Perhaps they have empowered women to be in the spotlight, which is a good thing. It's fun to see people traveling the world and making money doing what brings them joy. I want that too. So that's a great reframe there. You don't know the ins and outs of other people's lives. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're doing with their money. It's not your place to judge. You get to decide, what are you jealous of? Why are you beating them up? And then reframe it and go, you know what? Actually, I want that too. I want to be free. I want to travel the world in luxury style, if that's what you want, right? So don't demonize it. A reframe on the second one. Have I ever been cut off by people in crappy cars? Yes. Have I ever cut someone off by accident? Yes. Is it true that people in fancy cars think they own the world? I can't be certain of that. My aunt has a Mercedes and she's a philanthropist. And when it comes down to it, I want and deserve to own a shiny, fancy car, and it doesn't make me a bad person. So there's a reframed thought for you. The third one, when I dig deep, I realize that I wish I owned a house and had a kitchen to remodel. Plus, my sister gives money to charity and I don't. She chose to be a stay-at-home mom, which is honorable and what she always wanted. I consciously choose to be an entrepreneur and am committed to believing money is good and to becoming a money magnet so I can make a huge impact in the world. So you hear the differences in those reframes. In the recognition of how you're thinking and feeling, let it fly. Don't judge yourself. Be honest with yourself. And then when you see it, play with reframes. See how it feels to expand your thinking around your belief system and start looking for the other side so you can balance out this negative emotional charge so that money can come to you instead of having a blocked flow. So that's how important and powerful and easy it is to do reframes. And remember, I said you must repeat to reprogram. So every single time you notice yourself thinking that money is bad or having some belief around it or some reaction around it to other people's wealth, immediately reframe it and go, wait, money's good. Money creates opportunities. I want money. I love money. Money loves me. It's awesome to be rich and help the world. It's awesome to be rich and do what I want to do. It's awesome to be rich and pamper myself. It's awesome to be rich and make more impact through my business. And so just play with reframes right away, because you want to energetically align with wealth consciousness instead of pushing it away. So play with a money is good reframe, and how can you see the good in money, and how can you see rich people as good in what they're doing, because there are all sides, I promise you. So that's how to play with breaking through the money is bad money block. Now let's look at the money is scarce money block. So if you have the money is scarce money block, you're going to unconsciously believe that money is scarce, and you're going to continue to repel money away from you because it's impossible to attract wealth from a mindset of fear and scarcity and desperation. You can't have those two things simultaneously happening. If you think, I want financial freedom, but you live in a scarcity mindset, you're sending a signal into the universe that says, I believe scarcity is my reality. And so you're going to keep getting a matched frequency or a matched reality back to you of scarcity, not freedom, not flow. So if you are struggling with the money is scarce money block, here are some things you're probably thinking. There's never enough. I can't afford that. This money flow could end at any moment. I'll be more generous when I have more money in the bank. I'm worried about spending because I might not make more. I have a lot in savings, but an emergency could happen, so I better not spend anything on what I want or need right now. I need to make a lot of money to be safe and secure. There's not enough time to be a powerhouse business owner and have a good relationship. Or there's not enough time to be a business owner that's successful and take care of my body. Things like that. My kids will suffer if I take time to build my business. I'm focused on making more money, so I don't have time for self-care. These scarcity blocks come up in huge ways. So I want you to consider here that it might not be that you're directly in a scarcity mindset just about money. It's more about scarcity in general, or it could also be about scarcity in general, where you think there's never enough time. Or I've got to run myself ragged for things to work out, or there will never be enough because something bad happened in the past and I had to go into debt, and that's going to just keep happening. So you're stuck in this scarcity mindset. And when you have this block, you're going to be experiencing a lot of black and white thoughts and feelings about money. So this creates fear and desperation. So if you don't have a lot of money, you're going to feel panicked all the time and worry that there's never going to be enough. And then when you get some money, you'll hold on to it really tightly just in case something bad happens. Alternatively, if you have a lot of money and you're struggling with this money block, you may feel like no matter how much there is in the bank, there's never going to be enough. So you'll hyper focus on gaining more so much that you sabotage your relationships, your health, your well-being, because you don't believe it's possible to have both. So in a scarcity consciousness, we have a lot of black and white thinking, and we don't think we can have both, and we think it's either or. And so consider if that's how you're operating. And if that's the case, we're going to practice some reframes. So let's play with this. If you think that money is scarce, I want you to journal about the following. And the starting statement here is there's never enough. Again, remember, Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So your first step is to get conscious about how often you think or feel that it'll never be enough. And just start by scanning your past 30 days and create a bullet point list describing scarcity thoughts that you've had about money. Let me help you out with a couple of examples. You could be thinking things like, I was invited to attend a mastermind in Cancun and would like to go, but my first thought was, I can't afford it. Or my money's rolling in, but what if it stops? I better keep working hard and not spending any extra money. Or you could be thinking, I need to start working out, but there's not enough time to do that. And all the things on my plate for growing my business. So I'll start working out or taking care of myself when I make at least $5,000 a month or $20,000 a month or 40, whatever the amount is for you. You could also be thinking, I'd really like to start dating and finding a partner, but it takes so much time, energy, and money. Maybe I'll just stay single and learn to live with it. So you're settling. When you're in a scarcity mindset, you settle a lot, which means you can never be abundance. Settling is the opposite of abundance. Settling means you're taking what you get and figuring out how to contort yourself to appreciate it instead of going, yeah, life is prosperous, money is flowing. Well, the world is abundant. The universe is abundant. I can have what I want. I can create what I choose to have. And there's enough for me and everyone else to go around. That would be an abundance mindset. So it's really critical that you start to recognize your own scarcity thoughts. And I just gave you those examples. Of course, obviously, those are not all inclusive, but those are just some examples to think about how you might be having scarcity thoughts come in. So now let's think about how you're going to reframe those. So a reframe is changing the way you think or feel or act. And these, when we're doing journaling, are going to be thought reframes. So let's play with some examples of how you would come up with a counter thought by writing down a reframe. And just, reframes, it's a tool. It's helping you get conscious and then practice focusing on something different. And when you repeat those reframes, that's how you reprogram yourself. So examples tied to the ones that I just shared. I was invited to attend a mastermind in Cancun and would like to go, but my first thought was I can't afford it. The reframe, I want to go. How could I afford it? And then write down at least 10 possibilities to get your mind into solution thinking about how you could go. See what's possible. Who knows what's possible? Dropping the I can't afford it mindset is huge and critical. If you keep saying you can't afford it, you're telling the universe you can't afford it. So you're going to keep being brought opportunities that you can't afford. So you got to reframe that energy and that belief. Second example, my money's rolling in, but what if it stops? I better keep working hard and not spending any extra money. So that's the scarcity thought. And you can reframe this to, I trust that my continued success is inevitable, and I will celebrate my wins along the way by treating myself to something nice. Then go get a massage or do something nice for yourself, right? So I trust that my continued success is inevitable. The money can keep rolling in. The third one, I need to start working out, but there's not enough time to do that and all the things on my plate for growing my business. I'll start doing it once I start making X amount of dollars, whatever it is to you. Here's a reframe. My health matters. And since I have the power to create my reality, I'll make time in my schedule for self-care. Then begin a micro habit, 10 minutes a day of exercise, and watch shifts happen. Remember, if you keep telling yourself there's not enough time, there will never be enough time. You're sending a signal to the universe that says, my plate is full and I'm just stuck in this, and it's a downward spiral. If you choose to start expanding your time experience, you've got to start flowing and choosing to do things that are taking care of you first, remembering that your entire reality is created from your energy. We are operating in an energetic field that's measured by energy. So whatever energy you match is what you're going to keep creating. So if you're running from a scarcity energy, you're never going to have time to do anything. You've got to choose to make time and start to reverse this energy and shift it in small increments and small steps to start saying, I matter. I choose to take care of my body. There is time to take care of my body and to accomplish my goals. And start playing with that, especially when we think about health. If you fall apart, everything in your world falls apart because you're the center of your reality. So it's critical that you take care of your health and well-being. On this fourth example, I'd really like to start dating and finding a partner, but it takes so much time, energy, and money. Maybe I'll just stay single and learn to live with it. So instead of settling, here's a reframe. It is 100% possible to have both love and money. I will start dating this week. When I wrote this originally, I was in the dating world and I was single, and I really struggled with this block because my ex-partner had an affair and left me for somebody else who wasn't as achiever oriented as me. And he told me directly, you're moving too fast. You want too much. You're too much. And I really got that fear embedded in my being. And so I used this mantra a lot. It is 100% possible to have both love and money. And today I'm very happily married, love my partner. We're building a business together. Things are great. He lets me expand. He encourages me, inspires me, wants me to. And that's because I changed. I would have just attracted another same type of person if I hadn't reprogrammed myself to be abundant and love myself fully and know that I can have both, right? If I didn't reprogram myself, I just would have attracted another person who had the same belief. We keep repeating the lessons that we don't learn. So you're going to keep repeating the money blocks, the reality that's coming from those money blocks until you break through your money blocks. So pay attention to your money blocks so that you can break through and start getting different realities. Remember, what you focus on expands, and your outer world is an expression of your inner world. So to get out of scarcity thinking and poverty consciousness, you've got to train your brain in the direction of abundance thinking. So instead of thinking money is scarce, I want you to start playing with money is abundant. Money is everywhere. Money is all around me. Money flows and grows. Money comes to me with ease and joy and flow and fun. My money can keep on growing every single day. Those kind of thoughts, so that you can start to reprogram yourself for abundance instead of scarcity. All right, now money causes stress. So this is the third money block. Money causes stress. And if you're struggling with this money block, then of course it's going to block you from being a successful entrepreneur and making the amount of money that you make, because you're going to repel it away because you associate money with anxiety, overwhelm, too much responsibility, and confusion. So when you're stuck with this money block, you're struggling with it, you're just becoming aware of it. So you're not going to stay stuck forever. Don't worry. Just recognize now, is this the one that's keeping me stuck, or is this one of them that's keeping me stuck? You're going to be thinking things like, I want to make more money, but it'll take way too much work. Or I worry that if I make a lot, the responsibility will be overwhelming. Or maybe money problems will just go away. I love it when people say this to me. It's like, oh, if I avoid it, it'll fix itself. Nope, that never happens. Remember, Carl Jung says, what you resist persists and grows in size. So whatever you're avoiding is actually growing in your subconscious. And whatever you subconsciously think and feel is what you are attracting your way through magnetism, because that's what you predominantly are thinking about, even though it's unconscious. So don't avoid these things. Face them head on. Don't think my money problems will just go away. Face your money. Build a loving relationship with your money, right? Okay. Another thing you might be thinking is, I've always been bad with money and I can't seem to figure out how to budget or save. And the message there is, well, I'm just going to not try because I've always been bad with it. Or what if I'm really successful and it's too much responsibility? I hear this one a lot. What if I'm really successful and it's too much responsibility? So there's this fear that you're going to be too successful. What if I try and fail and lose all of my money? So again, you're creating a block before you even get started because you're afraid that money causes stress. What if figuring out how to invest is confusing? So you say things like, I don't know what to do with my money, instead of figuring it out, right? I don't really get how people build their wealth. Money causes fights with my partner, so we'll just ignore money conversations. Money stresses me out, so I'll let my partner deal with our finances. So pay attention to if you're saying things like this in your business. It's going to be you avoiding looking at your P&L. It's going to be you not wanting to have money conversations with old clients to up-level your prices. That's you being afraid that you are going to have some conflict with money, or people are going to be angry with you about money. So somewhere in you, there's this money causes stress block. This one I've definitely noticed when people have this, it tends to come from seeing parents fight about money, or watching parents work really hard for money and be struggling and straining and fighting. Or it could be that they worked really hard but weren't around a lot, and so you were stressed as a kid, so you associate, oh, money equals stress. So you create this vibrational frequency around money that's stress-filled. So the money causes stress money block is going to create fear, avoidance, confusion when it comes to thinking or talking about money. If you don't have a lot of money, you may feel frustrated and embarrassed, but you avoid facing the problem or feel confused in terms of how to make more. If you have a lot of money and struggle with this money block, you may sabotage yourself from making more because you fear the overwhelm that big success could create. So those are some different ways it operates, depending on if you don't have a lot of money or if you do have a lot of money, whatever that means to you, whatever that number is. No matter how much money you make, the money causes stress money block will cause you to feel stress in the form of worry and fear and anxiety, confusion about all things money. When you're stuck with this money block, you're going to unconsciously sabotage yourself by, typically, this is what I see most commonly, one, always feeling on the verge of burnout because you'll work really hard believing that there's no way to make easy money, or two, you'll stay confused about how to make more. So this one is really associated with burnout because you don't know how to have money be relaxing and easy flowing. You've programmed yourself to believe money causes stress, so you keep recreating that reality over and over and over. So let's play with reframes. Again, you're going to journal about this phrase, money overwhelms me. So the first step, again, is to get conscious. You got to recognize so you can reframe. So here are some things to help you out in terms of thinking about money and overwhelm. Here are some examples. I worked my butt off to build my business to 6 figures, and I keep worrying that to get to 7 figures, I'll have to work 10x as hard. I don't want to be this stressed out all the time. So you're going to have those thoughts. I have no idea how to 10x my income. Where do I even start? Or what if I become so successful that I have no time to spend with my family? Or I would have no idea how to manage a multi-million-dollar business. It kind of scares me that I won't know how to manage it and I'll feel stupid and look like a fool. So these are some of the thoughts that could be happening for you. Of course, there are many, many more, but those are just ideas so that you can start to play with breaking through this by understanding the thoughts you might be having. And we want to bring this into conscious awareness and play with reframes. So again, I'm going to give you some reframe examples. So if you're thinking, I worked my butt off to get to 6 figures, I don't know how to 10x it to get to 7 figures, your reframe could be, I will learn how to 10x my money with joy and ease. I've seen other entrepreneurs do it, so I know it's possible. The example, I have no idea how to 10x my income. Where do I even start? A reframe here could be, is this true? Can I review how I've made money in the past and replicate the process? Can I find an expert who to help me get there? My confusion is a choice. I consciously choose to get clear by accessing resources. I can read money books or hire a business coach or consultant. I'm a good one for that, by the way. Here's another one. What if I become so successful that I have no time to spend with my family? A reframe. I am committed to doing what it takes to master delegation and system automation so that I have time to do everything I enjoy and my success is not overwhelming. On this last one, I would have no idea how to manage a multi-million-dollar business. It kind of scares me that I won't know how to do it and I'll feel like a fool. A reframe. I trust that I will grow with my business. There are unlimited resources to help me manage a multi-million-dollar business or $1 million business. And I am committed to getting help where I need it so I don't feel confused and overwhelmed. In this one, where we have money causes stress, there's a really common tendency to not delegate and try to take it all on yourself. Often there's a lot of imposter syndrome associated with all of these really, but I would say in the money is scarce and the money causes stress money blocks, there's a lot of imposter syndrome because if you're operating in scarcity, you're thinking there's never enough, which is usually tied to I'm not enough, which creates imposter syndrome. In the money causes stress, imposter syndrome shows up by you being a perfectionist and continuously working too hard because you don't believe it can be easy to make money. So there can be a big struggle with delegation when you have this money block. So you don't want to ask for help because you think you should do it yourself and you're an imposter and a fraud if you ask other people for help, that kind of thing. So again, in this one, just remember what you focus on expands, and that in order to start shifting your belief, you want to get clear and conscious about your thoughts around how money overwhelms you. Do you get stuck in worry or anxiety or confusion? Pay attention to your own thought and energy system around money so you can practice reframes. So just remember to do those bullet points and then reframes. And on this one, you really want to shift from money causes stress to money creates freedom. One of my favorite affirmations is the less I work, the more I make. The less I work, the more I make. So you want to start playing with that possibility of believing that, dropping the confusion, dropping the overwhelm, and taking money-making actions that lead to high ROI results so you're not stressing yourself out. And this takes you reconditioning yourself, reprogramming yourself. Now, I do want you to remember here that everything I do is to teach you how to reprogram yourself. And again, like I said, one of my main focuses over my entire 6 years of the last 6 years of business has been to focus on money mindset. So I love to dig into these topics, and my LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school is where to go to get a ton of help with this so that you can turn on your money magnetism. I really tie law of attraction in business to client attraction, money magnetism, productive action, inspired action. Every action you take, you want to have a belief system behind it that's congruent. So you create this coherent life where your energy matches your beliefs and your actions match your energy and beliefs so that you get magnetic, easy flowing results. And so that's really everything I bring to you in this podcast, in my LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school, in my I Am a Money Magnet book.com if you want that. And that's what I love to do. I love to help you reprogram yourself so you can get what you want. And that's how I like to apply the law of attraction for business. So a quick recap here. The top 3 money blocks are money is bad, money is scarce, and money causes stress. I have really cool downloadable PDFs with these money blocks, and I will put them in my school. So if you want them, come check out the school. LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school, free trial. And I'll have them there for you so that you can download. I actually made a really cool quiz called the Money Blocks Profile a long time ago, and I stopped running it because the program I was using was really expensive and it wasn't working the way I wanted it to get people to me. And so I still have all this amazing content, but it's not accessible other than through the school. So come to the school. You can hear me flipping the pages of these PDFs. It gives you the prompts and helps you with these journaling questions to break through these blocks. And thank you so much for being here with me. I really am inspired to help you break through your money blocks so that you can be magnetic, especially as a business owner, because business owners have such an incredible opportunity to make a big difference in the world. And I want you to make a huge impact in the world. And to do that, you want to be prosperous and abundant and flowing. And in your energy system, you want to be vibrating with wealth consciousness, which takes you breaking through your money blocks. So break through your money blocks, play with everything we talked about today in this episode. I hope to see you in the school. And until next time, I am sending you giant, giant hugs and money magnet high fives.